Hired hands, the well. Tom was 9 years old when he was born. 9 months, not 9 years, I tried to tell him, but he told me again he was 9 years old. He heard Blondie, the old German shepherd, the one that got poisoned when he was a boy. He heard her come barking up the lane. She was barking because he was born. When Tom was 12, someone poisoned Blondie, left poison in the woods for her. She came home sick, threw up, and died. Tom told me he would kill whoever did this. He still holds a grudge after 50 years. "You poisoned my dog," he hollers into the old farmer's ear, shoves a pitchfork in his side, then stands back, his hands shaking, his eyes full of tears. When he plays harmonica. When he plays harmonica, his eyes get wild. I've seen that look in a sheep's eyes when its head gets caught in a fence. When he plays harmonica, he quivers slightly like a piece of paper in the hands of someone making a speech. When he plays harmonica, it is as if he were breathing into the hard mouth of a half-drowned child. After he's finished playing, I notice the greasy bruise on the silver encasement and the tiny beads of spittle clinging to the wooden keys. During dinner on a hot day. During dinner on a hot day, my sister and I watch sweat that sits on the tip of his nose. Every once in a while, a small bead, plit, in his mashed potatoes. Then much later, struggling not to, plit again. It may have spoiled our appetite, but it taught us the meaning of suspense. We watched the dog spinning like a fly on his back in a windowsill. The dog's hind end was paralyzed with the big wheels of the gasoline truck that twisted his spine like a green stick. He watched the dog spinning in the snow, his front legs madly working his body in circles until finally he learned how to move in a straight line, dragging his hind legs like a sled. In a month he had climbed or run so fast his back flew in the air. Still, one morning in January, he died, the stiffness passing through him like frost. Tom's eyes thawed that morning, and he didn't watch, and the dog didn't move until someone dragged him like a sled into the melting sun. In the field, he digs a hole to bury Tippy. In the same hole, he will bury 3 runts, a sow, a heifer, a bag of twine. This isn't sadness. He loved the dog too much to let him go so easily. First he pushes in the old sow, rolls her with his foot. She drops, and I hear a plop. Water in the ground, water in her belly. Then the runts are toppled, each with a curse. The heifer takes a tractor and a chain since he dug the hole so far away. He almost lets the left rear wheel slip in. Then the bag of twine. He leaves Tippy on the ground, throws in 2 or 3 shovels full of dirt, stops, looks around, see if anyone is watching, picks up the dog, kisses him on the mouth, lays him on the grave like flowers. Tom doesn't cry. He still speaks of Tippy in the present tense. The well. Some stories Tom remembers well. Once when he was young, he fell in love with Sarah, who worked in the 5 and 10. My uncle and his cronies convinced him to shave his eyebrows off to look like a real Casanova. He bought flowers and a box of chocolates and went courting. He waited at the end of Sarah's lane for her to come home from work. When she spotted Tom, she began to walk real slow. Tom waited. She seemed to crawl, she walked so slow. Just before she got to the lane, Tom heard a shot. He turned around, unable to raise his eyebrows in surprise or fear since he had none. He just stood there stunned. Sarah's father, brandishing the gun, told him to get on his way and never show up there again. Tom looked at Sarah, whose face showed superior disgust, looked at her father, whose face showed confidence and superior mockery. He ran like the wind, and his love ran down his pant leg in a stream the color of the yellow ribbons on the box of chocolate. He hid in the cornfield 1 mile away. After dark, he returned to Sarah, shoved the candies and the flowers in the mailbox. A victory. He spent 3 weeks growing his eyebrows back, and the rest of his life hating the man who told him to shave them off.